Good evening. I'm going to have a little fun tonight and take one of those political compass quizzes online, and I'll do it with you guys. And let's see what kind of president I'll be in 2024. So let's get right on it. So I'm using politicalcompass.org. A friend of mine sent this to me about a year ago. So I did this before, but I can't remember all the questions. So I like to still think of this as something fresh, but it's probably not so different from some of the other ones you see floating around in Facebook and where they use these days, Instagram and the TikToks. So let's see, it says there's a take the test. Guess you have general categories: authoritarian left and right, libertarian left and right. And based on these pictures, I guess you're going to be fit in a category where you might be Stalin or Mao. Wouldn't want to be that, right? This blue guy, I don't know who that is. Can I click on it? This one looks like Thatcher. Who is it? Hobbes. Who's that? Calvin Hobbes? To do this, some research. This green, don't know who that lady is. Goldman. This next one looks like Marx. Nope. Kropotkin. I need to do some studying here. Ayn Rand, of course, and maybe von Mises. No, Hayek. Okay, got a lot of work to do here, knowing my political and historical figures. But all right, let's skip that. I'm a little ashamed of that performance. Let's just go right to the test. Test before taking the test, not a survey, blah, blah, blah. Let's just go right to the questions. Can you even see this? All right. In an economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Humanity versus transnational corporations. I don't like those two options. It should be what about the third, the individual? So in this case, I guess serves humanity. Sure, people over corporations aren't people, so people over people. Sorry, people over companies. So I'll say strongly agree. Next question. I'd always support my country whether it was right or wrong. No, you can't support a country if it's wrong, so strongly disagree. Just because I was born in a country doesn't make me loyal to that country. However, I was born in the US, so US is a great country. So as long as US remains great, I am loyal. Next question. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. No. I guess if I'm consistent with my last comment, that's correct. Strongly agree. Our race, the human race, I assume, has many superior qualities compared with other races. Oh, never mind. I guess it meant... I guess there's a little bit of nationalism here, more than nationalism. Our race. Strongly disagree. Yeah, race is just one category. Race cannot define who you are as an individual, and across individuals, races cannot be a good marker. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. No. Enemy of your enemy is not my friend. Military action I was trying to think of something clever, some historical reference of an enemy of an enemy. World War II, US and Russia. Russia should have been the US enemy, or USSR, but the Allies befriended them because they thought they could help with the war against Stalin and keep Japan a bit distracted. And look what happened after World War II. US and the USSR remain strong enemies, maybe even until this day. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Why, yes, of course. If international law is not protecting individual rights, and in some cases you could argue that the UN might be making decisions that prevent people from acting justly against crimes that were committed to them. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. There is now a worrying fusion. No, I would disagree with that. I would strongly disagree with that. Information can be entertainment, and entertainment can be information. So what's there to be worried about? People need to make their own decisions when they are trying to be entertained or looking to be informed. Am I right? All right, let's go next page. 2 of 6. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you guys here and for my own eyes. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. Well, it seems like tricking me into like a Marxist corner. People are ultimately divided by class, more by class than by nationality. People are ultimately... I have to strongly disagree. People aren't divided by class, but they happen to be by nationality. Oh, this is tricky one. Are they more divided by nationality? Yeah, I think so. So I would strongly disagree. People tend to be more... A rich and a poor person in China might be more tied to China than a rich person in China and a rich person in the US versus a poor person in China and a poor person in the US. So I think I'll stick to my answer. Strongly disagree. Controlling inflation is a more important... How timely. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Controlling inflation. Can I have neither? No one should try to control either. That'd be my answer. But I don't have an option here. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Sure, as the power that the government does have, inflation is probably better target than unemployment. Right? You don't want the government having a bunch of people build bridges to nowhere just to improve unemployment. I'd rather them screw around with the money supply. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they must require regulation. Strongly disagree. Corporations can be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment if their customers care about the environment. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. No, not according to his need. Need should not force anyone to do anything. Your need should not force me to act. The freer the market, the freer the people. The freer the people, the freer the market. But sure, the freer the market, the freer the people. It's a sad reflection on our society that sometimes as something as basic as drinking water is now bottled, branded consumer product. It is something sad. I do strongly disagree generally. I don't think it's a sad reflection, at least not in the United States, because there's a lot of reasons why bottled water is so popular. I mean, mismanagement of mostly local governments with water. I mean, see what's going on in California. Look at all the rainwater that's just being wasted. Of course, when we've been in years of drought, we still haven't found a way to effectively contain that water. And that's a lot of on government. So there are companies that are working to and continuing to bottle water that customers want because the government's not providing them great water. Let me hedge this a little bit and select disagree instead of strongly disagree, because that is a sign of bad society, but I think it's also a sign of bad governance. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Oh, I strongly disagree. It should be a commodity. It should be a commodity. That's the best way to make sure land is used productively as they see fit. Of course, that doesn't mean you always have to produce something. If you thought it was productive to just buy a national park and keep it that way, I would be 100% for that. I like my national parks. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. Well, if you have fortunes, assuming you didn't steal it, you have naturally contributed to society. Because if you didn't steal it, you must have earned that money by people giving you services, or you gave them a service that they were willing to pay for that service for. So I will say strongly disagree. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Oh, strongly disagree. No. Protectionism hurts the country. Hurts you. If you're thinking of putting high tariffs because it prevents Vietnam or China from flooding your market with cheap goods, who are you hurting? You're hurting yourself from getting those goods cheaply. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. Yes, that I strongly agree. No ESG, no corporate social responsibility, no volunteer hours, profit to shareholders. And sometimes those shareholders are customers. Sometimes those shareholders are employees themselves who are part of society. The rich are too highly taxed. I would agree. Not strongly agree. I agree. There's a lot of loopholes. They get around with it. So agree rather than strongly agree. Maybe if the question was that the rich are too highly... No, I don't have a better question. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. Why? Of course. If some people want to pay more money or spend more on healthcare, why can't they get better healthcare? Even middle-class people would want to spend more on healthcare than upper middle class. So why shouldn't they? I know a lot of people, myself included, that are willing to spend money on private education, and because we think we get better education than we do if we went to public school. So I think the same can apply to medicine as well. Governments should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Government should mislead the public. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think fraud is a terrible thing, and government should act like a police force. And if you've willfully misled the public with your product or service, then government should penalize you. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. Monopolies. Strongly disagree. A genuine free market will likely not have monopolies, but in the event it does have a monopoly, meaning one company owns everything for that service, they deserved it. I mean, if you think about now what's going on with Google, people thought Google was a monopoly a long time ago. Well, not even a long time ago. Let's say 10 years ago. all this antitrust in the EU, the United States, going against Google, and just look at their profits. Look at who their competitors are now. It's not Bing and Yahoo. It's Instagram. It's Facebook. It could even be Tesla. So you never know. I would say there's almost no such thing as monopolies. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. Oof. Now we're getting to some of the more sensitive stuff. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be legal. Abortion, when the woman's life is threatened, should always be legal. Abortion should always be illegal. Strongly disagree. Is there a double negative? Not threatened should always be illegal. Abortion should always be legal. Abortion, when the woman's life... Right, I get it. Abortion should always be legal. So I strongly disagree on this sentence. I think I do have my view on abortion needs a little more thought, but I think the woman has a right to abortion regardless if your life is threatened or not. Now, that doesn't mean I'm pro-choice. Well, I guess that is pro-choice, but I'm also pro-life. I think I definitely want women to have more options so that they don't feel like abortion is the only way. So probably need to have a separate talk on that. But for this purpose, I'll say strongly disagree. All authority should be questioned. Ooh, yes. Even when I'm president in 2024, you guys should be questioning me. An eye for an eye and the tooth for a tooth. Yeah, strongly agree. That's not the old Christian evangelical in me, but that is justice to me. This is the supreme justice. I think this will become more evident when we get into foreign policy and criminal justice. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. Taxpayers should not. I would probably strongly agree. Yes. I was thinking about this. I was reading through a book from President's Museums that we have in the United States. I'm trying to think the value of, and the National Archives, which I kind of think of it as a museum in some sense. And there's a part of me that says government, via the taxpayers, should prop up or support some of these museums. But maybe to financially, I guess there's some nuance there, but I think it's important for government to at least provide some of the information and make it available to the public. And maybe it's maybe this is a conservative part of me, but maybe museums is one of the ways to do that. Maybe a digital archive or digital museum could be another way. But again, let me strongly agree here. But if I could remove theaters, just museums. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. I would strongly agree with that. Schools should be able to do what they want to do. And parents or students can then choose if they want to go to school that makes classroom attendance compulsory or not. I assume this question is more like local public school officials should not make classroom attendance compulsory. All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. Now, keep to their own kind. If kind meant keep to their own race, this would be racist. So I should say strongly disagree, right? Because I'm not a racist. All people have the rights. Yep. But it is better for all of us that different sorts of people, no. Strongly disagree. You should be allowed to mingle. If you don't want to mingle, you can go hide yourself in your own bunker. But don't force other people to build their own bunkers and stay in them. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. I'm guilty of this, or I was. And that's not why I'm clicking agree. I've reduced my form of punishment a lot, this form of punishment, but ultimately parents have the right to discipline their children, and spanking is probably an okay method. So that's why I'm not saying strongly agree, but I'll keep it agree until children are of legal age, if maybe 16 or 18. I mean, parents are responsible for the children, not the government. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. It's natural, yeah, it's definitely natural. It's part of growing up. It's part of wanting to figure out your relationship with your parents, right? I mean, your parents, I'm sure my parents kept secrets from me, so it seems natural that children would want to do the same thing. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Strongly agree. Don't need to elaborate. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. No. Not the primary function. So if I strongly disagree, what is a primary function? Well, the primary function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to make rational decisions in their life. So if that means to find a job, or to go get more schooling, to start a business, or to travel the world, it should be up to the individual. The school should ensure that they're equipping their kids to be rational and independent human beings. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. Whoa. Oh, I strongly disagree with that. Even if you have a disability, you're an individual with rights. And if you want to reproduce, you should be allowed to reproduce. And good for you. I mean, reproduction is a beautiful thing. As a father of 3 kids, I mean, I couldn't imagine not having that experience of being able to be part of the reproductive process and bringing life into this world. And I think people with disabilities should have that same right to experience as well. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. No, goes back to my earlier response. No, the most important thing for children to learn is to be a rational human being, to be independent, and to learn and to want to live life to the fullest. Be a hero, be a romantic, not accept discipline. Discipline from who? No way. There are no savage and civilized people they are only different cultures. Strongly disagree. Like this could also get me in trouble, like the abortion question. There are good ideas and bad ideas, and thus there are good cultures and bad cultures, and therefore there are savage people and civilized people. Here I'll assume savage means bad. So I will strongly disagree. Those who are able to work and refuse opportunity should not expect society's support. No one should expect society's support. However, let me see. Those who are able to work and should not, you should not expect it. However, a free society is also a very generous and forgiving society. So even if you don't deserve to expect support, I'm sure a lot of people will still feel very sympathetic to your situation and still come to your support. That's the beauty of living in a free society. People tend to be nicer. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. Strongly disagree. Do I strongly disagree? Yeah, I strongly disagree. I do struggle with this, and something my wife really helps me on because she can see when I'm troubled and I don't want to talk about it. But I think talking about it helps. I do think about it a lot, but thinking and not talking about it doesn't help. And so I will strongly disagree here. That goes to you, my wife. First-generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. I strongly disagree. Their new country, if they're accepting, can always fully integrate with their new country. Now, you don't have to integrate with your new country, but say if you're first-generation immigrant coming to the United States, I hope you fully integrate with the United States, because there's few countries in the world that has the kind of freedom, emotional freedom, economic freedom, political freedom that you have here. So you should fully embrace it. Take off the hijab. I should edit that out. What's good with the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. Yes. This could get me in trouble. What's good for yes, I was strong. Yeah. Again, assuming the corporation didn't get special treatment from the government, didn't steal it, didn't fraud their customers, and in most cases they don't, in the United States at least, in a free society. It was good for all of us. Now, if am I picking on Russia too much? Gazprom, super successful company. It's not good for all of us because it's propped up by the Russian government. But in a free society, the most successful companies is always good for us. No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. No, I would strongly agree. I think when I'm president, probably have to privatize NPR. I'll admit I've grown up loving NPR. Yeah. What's that talk show? Forget that Sunday talk show. I love that one. But sorry, it shouldn't be publicly funded. And how you see the wider society. Okay, this should be fun. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Yes, I don't know if it's happening as much now since 9/11, but the impression that a lot of the feelings and sentiments and the policies from post 9/11, Patriot Act, TSA. It's in the name of counterterrorism. This is excessively curbing my civil liberties. I mean, global entry and pre-check just to quickly go through airport security. It's just a little bit too much amongst many other annoyances that we have to face with our liberties. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system. Strongly disagree. I saw something on LinkedIn today about someone trying to compare the China against the US, and they say sometimes China gets things right, sometimes China gets things wrong, just like the US sometimes gets it right and sometimes gets it wrong. And that's not an apples to apples comparison. That's just a dumb comparison. No. The important thing is, in a one-party system or one-party state, at least all the ones we see around the world outside the United States, it's a significant infringement on your civil liberties. It's a significant blocker of individual freedoms and individual rights. So I will have to strongly disagree. Now I have my issues with democratic political systems. You can't vote on everything, and people vote on taking people's rights away. So there are some flaws with the democratic political system, but one party, oh no way. Strongly disagree here. And if you guys notice, I'm kind of talking quietly. My kids are sleeping on the other side of the wall, so I'm trying not to be too animated with some of my responses here. So I should have caveated that when I started, huh? Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be warned. Oh, strongly disagree. This goes back to the earlier question on counterterrorism and civil liberties. Granted, I don't know what really life was like before 9/11 because I was too young and maybe a little naive. Maybe naive is not wrong, dumb. But no, I mean, the NSA AT&T being able to having to save all your information because they might get a warrant to review the text messages or call minutes and logs. No, it's crazy. Even if you've done nothing wrong, government has no right to have access to that information. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. Yes, I'm not sure where I think I generally am not in favor of the death penalty. If life in prison is included in death penalty, then I am in favor of death penalty. But if it's lethal injection, shooting range, maybe I'm less for those options right now. But the death penalty should be an option for serious crimes, for sure. Goes back to eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, justice. If you kill somebody, then death is just. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed. No. Nope. I don't need to talk more about that. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. Disagree. It's up to you. I mean, if abstract means it's abstract, so it doesn't have a meaning. But if someone finds value in it, as you wish. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Generally agree. Goes back to Death penalty discussion. Rehab should, depending on the crime, rehab should be an option, but you must be punished. That is important. It is a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. Sure. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. Strongly disagree. No, I think some of my answers may come across that I'm pro-capitalist / only about economic growth and only value business and CEOs and anything related to commerce. But no, that's not true. The writer and artist provide just as much value to society as the business person and the manufacturer. Society, you need great art. You need people to be able to use art and writing and images and movies and music to be able to communicate and represent some of the beauty in life, the ideals, like I'm talking about here, about individual freedom, being heroic, being romantic. And business people can't always do that. Sometimes you need the writer and the artist to work together to do that. And that's part of society, and that what makes good cultures continue to thrive. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. No one has a duty other than to yourself. Mothers, dads, doesn't matter. Your duty is to yourself first. After that, you can figure out what your duty is in your hierarchy. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries. Is it supposed to say planet? That doesn't mean. Well, no. Well, regardless, they are not unethical. There's no exploitation. So I'll say strongly disagree. Now you can say maybe state-owned companies in China are unethically exploiting some resources in developing countries in Africa, Southeast Asia. But across the board, I strongly disagree. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. This might make me sound like an anarchist, but strongly disagree. The establishment, the deep state, the swamp. Strongly disagree. If you get through that okay, you'll find these propositions on religion a breeze. Religion. Astrology accurately explains many things. Astrology. Is that like Capricorn and Pisces and crab hands? No. Strongly disagree. You cannot be moral without being religious. Strongly disagree. Sorry, Jordan Peterson. You can be moral without religion. Charity is better than social security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. If we're talking about social security, the way we have it now, and general charity that we have here in the United States, I would strongly agree, yes. Social security is such a it's not complex. No, the charity is better. At least you have competition within charities. Charities that do better get more money. Charities that are more effective are better recognized. And you'll see the impact. And people that have a choice when they're donating tend to be more careful on where they're donating. But if you just send your 3% to 8 to 15% to the government every week, and you have no choice, you don't care what we do with that money, that as much as you would if you were giving that $1 at the grocery store when they make you donate. You care a little bit more there, and it tends to be better. Some people are naturally unlucky. Some people, yeah, I would, well, yeah. I mean, life is life. Yeah, I mean, you are born certain ways that might be you're physically disadvantaged or emotionally disadvantaged. If you're born in the United States now versus being born in North Korea, yeah, the kid in North Korea is unlucky in that sense. But that doesn't mean the kid can't make it and live just a fulfilling life as that same kid in the United States. It would be very hard. I definitely grant that. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. Ooh, no. What if that religious is Wahhabi Islam? I don't think so. Look at sex. Okay, this should be fun. But maybe something I have the least experience with. Let's see where it goes. Sex outside marriage is usually immoral. Sex outside marriage. I would slightly disagree. I've changed my views on this. Even after I stopped being an evangelical Christian, I think I thought sex outside of marriage was not good. Now I've definitely changed that it's not bad. It's probably good, actually. A few times it's probably good. But not just for the sake of having sex. I mean, there should be a reason, a good purpose, a good bond, emotional bond. It should be fun, not just to check a box or to keep a tally. There should be something more to it. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Should not. Yeah. I don't see any issue with same-sex couples adopting. I think it's a good idea, and I'll strongly support that. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population. This is where I have my libertarian conflicts. But yeah, I do agree. It's not good for you. I know it's not good for you. People know it's not good for you. So should you ban it? Nah, nope. Fentanyl's not good for you, I hear. But I don't think I would ban fentanyl either. What goes on in a private bedroom between consulting adults is no business of the state. Yes, consulting adults. That's correct. That is correct. No one can feel naturally homosexual. Ooh, no one can. No one. Well, I can't. No one can feel naturally. I disagree with that. Should I strongly disagree with that? No one can. It's a weird one. No one can feel naturally. People can feel naturally homosexual. I would agree with that. No one can feel. So I would disagree with that. Okay. That's how I would do it. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. Ah, yes, maybe to the earlier question, I would probably strongly agree. I still think now I have seen some studies that the younger generation are being less active, but I think it's still a little too open, mostly for the wrong reasons. All right, here we go. The starting point was in 2001, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Okay, let's see. Let me just show me where I am. Okay, so authoritarians on the top. I hope I'm not that. Libertarian on the bottom. I think that's obvious. Social. Then economic, left and right. I should be over here. So hopefully I'm over here. That's what I'm hoping for. Nonetheless, the more nationalistic authoritarian party, yeah. The more right wing, yep. I don't like that. All right. Oh, here we go. Switzerland, okay, that seems reasonable. Uruguay, I don't know much about them. I should. Singapore. Yeah, that seems about right. I don't think I felt that the week I was there, but okay. Saudi Arabia seems about right. North Korea, that's definitely an easy one. All right, so let me be south of Switzerland, please. Not south enough. Your political compass, economic left, okay. Social, okay. Show chart in a separate window. It's okay. So it says I'm around here, a little right. No, so I'm not libertarian enough, huh? Even though I said I'm more libertarian than libertarians. I am ashamed of myself. I did not perform. Does it tell you who I'm personalizing? Caricatures. Malcolm Evans was the one who drew it. So that's it? That's what I am, huh? Well, there you go, people. I am not as libertarian as I thought I was. And I'm not as right as I thought I was in the economic scale. How strange. I'm curious what questions would have said I'm not right enough. I can't imagine any other US politician right now that's more right of me. I can't think of any more libertarian politician in the United States as well. So this seems like a lukewarm score for me, but all right, at least we have something. Let me see what it shows when you click on that. Here we go. Oh, it doesn't tell me my equivalent philosopher is. Well, very good. I guess that's it. Should I donate? Yeah, I should donate. Oh, it's British pounds, huh? I'll donate after this. And appreciate the fun I had here. But there you have it, folks. I'm not where I thought I was. But yeah, maybe I'll do this a different quiz next time. Or maybe delve into some of the topics and see really if this is a fair reflection of where I am. So thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.